If you meet a woman who is beyond the age of 40 and she is educated, you should probably put that in the bad column if you find yourself attracted in her for some inexplicable reason. It would indicate that there is an inverse association between IQ and the attitudes held by women. They make the situation much more difficult. When someone has more education, they give off the impression of being more pleasant to be around, but when someone has less education, their cognitive processes seem to be more straightforward. Women are analogous to older children. The last thing you require is a smart-ass youngster telling you what she thinks. Imagine someone who looks like one of Charlie's spoiled children from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and is as annoying as the kid who knows everything there is to know about everything and is loved by almost no one. Another thing that I've picked up from observing a few different women in their 20s, 30s, and finally their 40s as they go through their midlife crises is that it's important to take care of yourself. They strive to recreate the experiences that they have never had, and if they were sensible when they were younger, that logic disappears as they get older and try to duplicate those experiences. They can now ride the carousel even though they missed the opportunity while they were in their 20s. They do this frequently since many of them are still hit on by younger men in their 20s and 30s, even if it is merely for the purpose of having sexual relations with them. It is simple for older women to fulfill their fantasies and have a relationship with a younger man because it is not difficult for them to find a younger partner in the first place. There are ladies in their late 30s whom I know, women in their late 30s and early 40s who are only now becoming interested in younger men. They are under the impression that those guys admire them more for who they are than for what they have accomplished. Women of that age, however, are living on borrowed time, and their bodies are on the edge of disintegrating at any given moment. The fact that they are unaware of it is the only problem. Even though they are getting closer to menopause, they are still acting like they are in their 20s. Because women can use technology to interact with people from younger generations, they can easily attract younger guys on Tinder. This makes it easier for women to date younger men. My hypothesis is that they aren't actually interested in having sexual encounters, but rather seek power over men due to the fact that a man's huge head still has an advantage over a woman's small head. Because he is hopelessly in love with her, he will never give up on her. She has self-assurance. It is essential that you have an understanding of the modern way that women think. At this moment in your life, having money and a position will help you attract ladies of this type, but as you become older, it will become increasingly difficult to do so. Because you are not interested in escorts, you will eventually lose access to women of reproductive age and will be forced to adopt the MGTOW persona at some point in the future. This is something that occurs in the life of every man, and we must learn to accept it as quickly as we can and go with our lives as men. We would like to believe that our sexual potency increases with age, but the reality is that it really decreases with age, and there is little we can do to stop this process once we reach our late 40s. And looking specifically for ladies in their 30s. People have a tendency to treat you as a creepy old man, but it's often the opposite for women. They're practically lauded as a fine piece of hero-esque when they're in their 40s and can still crack open a 20-something-year-old guy. When you're in your 40s and can still crack open a 20-something-year-old guy, people have a tendency to treat you as a creepy old man. As a result of the drop in hormone levels that occurs after menopause, many women suffer from intense feelings of fury, anxiety, and despair, in addition to a general lack of self-confidence. In addition, women who are in their mid-40s or later tend to lose virtually all desire and erotic interest in the act itself by the time they reach their 50s. When women are in their late teens and early 20s, they want to have sex constantly, but this desire begins to diminish as they go into their mid to late 20s and begin to present for sex. However, once they reach their 30s, they start craving sex once more. This time, however, it's not because they want to have it. Rather, they want to use it as a tool to attract a guy. However, once they have one, the vast majority of women will never desire to have sex in significant amounts again. It was a man having sex with a woman while you were in your late teens, but it wasn't meant to last, and it vanished and then gone forever. If you didn't take advantage of the opportunity, you missed the boat. In this regard, Patrick Stewart is a fantastic example to consider. He is 38 years old and has been married to a woman who is also 38 years old. Do you believe that she would continue to be with him if either he or she did not have as much money or if she did not attract as much attention when they strolled down the street together? At any age, women are more likely to feel themselves attracted to a wealthy and successful man. But because this man has money and status as he gets older, and because his sex desire is likely to be so low, she does not even have to yank his pigtail all that often. Even a woman like her has a good chance of going through the discomfort of hot flashes in fewer than 10 years. She is probably simply holding her breath in anticipation of the arrival of some cash from Captain Picard's widow. She has high hopes of living to a ripe old age and having a prosperous life in the years to come. I just wanted to let everyone know that when a woman enters her less than desirable attributes, those qualities are highlighted. Because of this, as women get older, they are more likely to require medical attention, whereas males, as they age and produce less testosterone, become less able to withstand the onslaught of insanity. You are both heading in quite different directions at this point. You are very close to completing the transformation into a spayed or neutered indoor house cat. She's turning into an angry brat of 5 years old who takes pleasure in torturing and killing defenseless creatures at home. You can immediately enhance your testosterone levels by 20% if you exercise and steer clear of long-term relationships. If you do everything you can to maintain your testosterone levels high, I propose that you do everything you can to keep them high. You may be able to decrease tension, increase your vitamin D intake, and lose weight by doing exercises such as push-ups and crunches. We'll all effectively enhance your testosterone levels. If you can raise your testosterone level, you will be able to truly think on your feet when you are with ladies. When a man is in a committed relationship, his testosterone level drops by approximately 20%. In addition, there is a normal decrease of 20% in testosterone levels as a result of other factors. Therefore, a male who is currently going his own way and is not involved in a long-term relationship has an equal level of testosterone as a man who is now in a relationship. Approximately a generation ago, researchers discovered the explanation for why men no longer appear to be capable of standing up to women. Their testosterone levels are similar to those of young boys rather than those of fully developed men. This means that men do not have the ability to compete with women on an equal footing. As a direct consequence of this, our periods start much sooner and we experience a huge increase in irritability.